InfoComm 2021 Morning Show, hosted by Mary Cecil.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for joining us again on another episode of our morning show here at AVIXA's InfoComm 2021. I am so excited to be here. I hope you have been enjoying it. It is day 2. Day 1 was amazing. That trade show floor was fantastic. I have explored so much of it, and there's still so much more to see. While I'm at it, I just want to say, if you're joining us virtually, don't forget to check out any of the sessions or anything around here really on my show planner. You can see a lot from at home. We are trying to get all this content to you, so be sure to enjoy that and check it out. Also hashtag InfoComm21. Let us know where you are. Selfies. What's your favorite part? What are you seeing? Help us find you. And I'm really excited actually to be here with 2 members of AVIXA. Right now, I am here with Sean Wargo and Peter Hansen. Thank you so much for being here with me. It's a pleasure to have you on here on the morning show at InfoComm 2021. So introduce yourselves, tell us a little bit about yourselves and what your experience has been like so far.
Sure, great to be here, Mary. Thanks for having us. I'm Sean Wargo, Senior Director of Market Intelligence for AVIXA. Really happy to be back in person and to be able to share some of the insights we have from AVIXA's Market Intelligence.
And I'm Peter Hansen, Economic Analyst with AVIXA, Sean's team. Such a thrill to be seeing our community in person again.
Yes, it's been a while, so we're all glad to be back, and it's a little smaller than normal. Do you think that has had an impact, a positive or a negative impact on this InfoComm? Do you think that the size has been helpful?
We know one of the things Peter and I were talking about, especially as we got on stage yesterday morning, is that you're getting a high richness quotient. So yes, maybe it's a smaller audience, a smaller show, but those that are here are really into it. They're staying for the sessions, they're asking great questions, they're really engaged, they're on the show floor engaging with the vendor manufacturers. So I think it's a first foray, it's a first step, but it's a strong one, and you can see that in the audience, I think.
And then how about you? What do you think about what has happened this year that's different than previous years?
Yeah, I would really echo what Sean's saying and focusing on the sort of need that people have to be here. You didn't just come here because you always come here every year. This was a carefully made decision, and so the people who are here are the ones who need to buy some things. They have purchase they need to make, and the exhibitors are the ones with really exciting things that they couldn't say, oh, we'll pass this year, we'll be here next year. We have great stuff. We need to share it with the people who are taking this kind of technology to their ultimate end users.
Exactly. Yeah. Did you have something to add?
Yeah, I was just going to say. I mean, it's a great example of how the world goes on, right? Like demand, the need for technology to engage customers, audiences, et cetera, whether it's remote or returning in person, it's still very real. And so that, that commerce that needs to happen, and what better way to see in-person technologies than in person. So I think it's a sign that, life goes on.
Awesome. And so true. And I think, honestly, you have to admit that I think without the time that people had quarantined for a little while, I'm sure that there were some technical advancements that were forced to happen faster than they would have otherwise. So this is probably one of the coolest, most innovative InfoComms that there may have been otherwise. Speaking of, I know you mentioned the session on the technology innovation stage yesterday. You started off the technology innovation stage. Tell us how that was. What did you talk about? What did you feel? It's been crowded. Every time I've walked by there, there's people standing around it watching.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, we had a packed house, which was always nice to see as a presenter. But I think the story that we were trying to share is that recovery. It's people coming back. It's the industry recovering after just such a long spell of decline. So we shared that insight. We shared some of our forecasts showing that last year was, of course, a little worse than we had originally thought. When you go into something like a pandemic, you're not sure what that might look like from an impact to industry. So it was about twice as bad as we thought, almost a 20% decline in revenues. But we're recovering now in terms of our industry revenue and growth, et cetera. So we shared some of that. We shared some of our new research. We've got quarterly data now coming in for state of demand, which helps us understand what end users are planning to buy in the coming quarter. And we have a great salary tool for professionals to use to gauge their worth in the market.
That's amazing. And then how was your experience on the tech innovation stage?
It was awesome. Two of the things that we talked about under my corner of our research library and team was first about supply. I actually had a bunch of conversations on the show floor about it, talking about how folks are managing supply. Our data shows that Pro AV is experiencing somewhat worse supply issues than the economy overall, but that they're still moderate. And that was what our data showed. And I was a little nervous because we've heard a story or two about people really struggling, but a lot of conversation on the show floor that we had kind of confirmation. And I think that's one thing that a lot of people has drawn them here, is because they can make the connections with their suppliers, get that insight into the supply chain, and understand what's going to be available, when it's going to be available. The second piece that I want to repeat, Sean just referenced it, but at the close of our presentation on the technology innovation stage, we announced for the first time that we are launching this compensation tool. Should help AV professionals understand if they're getting paid their fair market value. That's something that's coming out in a few weeks, not out just yet, but will be out really soon, and just super excited about what it will do just for our professional community.
That's amazing. That is huge. I feel like I could talk to you both all day about this. This is fantastic. I really, before we wrap up, I do want to let everyone know how they can find you, any hashtags you're using aside from InfoComm21. But let's start with you this time, Peter.
Thanks. Yeah, you can, of course, reach out to us on AVIXA.org, phansen@avixA.org, also on Twitter at Peter Hansen Econ.
And swargo at avixa.org for our email, and at zwargo1, an old AOL email address, oddly enough, on Twitter or social. Yeah.
I still have an AOL too. It's my handy dandy email to go to when I forgot that I had it. Just kidding. So thank you so much for being here. Your time is so appreciated. Go ahead and check them out and follow them. And real quick, I'm going to jump to what we heard from those down on the trade show floor about how they feel about the AVIXA community. Let's take a look. Here we are on the street again, going to exhibitors and anyone here to find out one word or phrase that you would use to describe the AVIXA community. Let's go. So in a word or phrase, how would you describe the AVIXA community?
Diverse.
Supportive.
They're awesome.
Very welcoming.
It's very innovative.
The AVIXA community is courage, heart, and trust.
Collaborative.
It's empowering.
AV industry's been around for a long time. This is my 26th year doing the show, and I know everybody here.
Just a great organization to be a part of.
Very friendly.
Very helpful.
Everyone around here is a go-getter.
Everyone's been very generous and kind.
In a word or phrase, how would you describe the AVIXA community?
It is community. It's like family. It's a tight family.
It's a family. That's how I look at it.
The community is just very close-knit and supportive.
I think that perfectly describes this industry. It perfectly describes this community. I think we're all here just to celebrate what everybody does and just geek out on some cool stuff.
For anyone who has been to an InfoComm or anyone here now, I'm sure you can relate to all the sentiments that were expressed in that video. Not one person had a bad thing to say. Everything here is welcoming, warm, innovative, exciting. And if you haven't experienced it, you should. Let us know how you're feeling with the hashtag InfoComm21. And as we move forward, talking about people who may have been here a couple times before, I have a few veteran guests that are joining us remotely today. They have a few things to say on the events that they've attended. They sadly can't be here today, but they're attending virtually, so they have some tips and tricks on whether you're here or virtual and their thoughts on this year's InfoComm. Let's take a look over to Chris Neto and Mark Coxon.
Well, thank you, Mary, for that wonderful introduction. Mark, it's October, and we're talking InfoComm. Do you believe this?
October, talking InfoComm in October is weird anyway, because not June, right? But it's October. It's almost Halloween, and we're talking about InfoComm.
Regretfully, we're not there this year, but it's not stopping us from taking a look at what is going on at the show. So what do you think, man? Where do you see this show going this year?
You know, I have a lot of FOMO. I wish I was on the floor for the show this year for a couple reasons. And I think because, typically the show is kind of overshadowed in a way, I guess, by the 15 big booths, the people that bring the big booths. And those are the kind of the waypoints of the show, right? Like everybody has to hit those 10 or 15 booths. And then, really their other time is split. There's another 980 exhibitors typically at an InfoComm. So this year, I think the thing that I'm missing and the opportunity for a lot of folks is, there are less boots on the floor, but it gives you a lot of time to explore, find new things, and meet new people, which is really what the show is about if you're there in person, right? It's putting your hands on products that maybe you haven't seen before and meeting new people that can help you solve problems, especially today with like supply chain and all these other things going on around. I mean, what a great opportunity to find people that can help you solve problems for jobs.
Of everything that's going on, and obviously the talk about leading up to the show and going into the show, I think the real star of the show is going to be the smaller booths that would have never have gotten the amount of foot traffic they are going to receive at the show. So you now get the back nine, as we used to refer to them as, the smaller booths are now moved up to the front. Maybe now for the people that are there, let's be honest, this is probably going to be the biggest networking event an AV person has been to in a very, very long time. So take advantage of obviously the networking, take advantage of every day that you're there to discover some of the new products that you may have walked past because they were smaller booths or you didn't have time to make it across the vast show floor. So as things have changed, take advantage of the situation. And I think there's going to be some good things that are going to come out of it. And honestly, with all that walking, we're going to get into a challenge, it. So if you're watching this right now, you go on the Twitters, do use hashtag InfoComm21 and give us your over under on your steps. Because if you're home and you can beat the people that are at the trade show, Mark, how many steps did you used to do at a trade show?
I probably 20,000 a day, something like that.
There you go. Mark has set the bar. That's your challenge, AV Tweeps. Go ahead, count your steps, tag me and Mark on our Twitters. Who is going to be more exhausted at the end of this week, man? I'm excited to see what people are going to give us from their perspective. Obviously, InfoComm and AVIXA are doing this live stream, but I'm really, really interested because there's a massive opportunity as social media guys that we are to really bring a perspective of who's there by using your phones and using your cameras. Don't be shy, folks.
This may be the year that, doing a few videos from the floor, et cetera, can really help you expand your reach, do those things, because people are missing out. Like I have a fear of missing out from this show. I tweeted this morning, I have a fear of missing swag. If anybody wants to send me swag from the show, I'm happy to take it. But
absolutely.
I have a fear of missing out, and I'm going to be consuming as much content as I can. I'm going to sign up as a virtual attendee, and then I'm also going to be, trying to watch social media and see what people are sharing and see what people are pushing forward. Because I love the exploration side of the show.
Yeah.
I usually try to take a whole day of my InfoComm experience and just go see people I haven't seen before. I mean, if you think about the people at the show, they're serious. There aren't tire kickers at the show this year. People who are going to the show this year want to be at the show. They want to learn about products. They want to meet new people. And so if you're there, like, it's such a great opportunity. And there are some brands that have actually increased the size of their booth this year.
There's definitely a diehard crowd feel to the people that are going to be there. And I appreciate it. I haven't missed an InfoComm in a very, 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 very long time, but I am anxious to see how things are going there. Folks, unfortunately, we were not able to teach our class about social media, but use it as an opportunity to go ahead and spread what you guys are seeing, what you people are experiencing. That'd be great. Let us know. Go ahead onto the Twitters, on LinkedIn, use hashtag InfoComm21. I appreciate the time that InfoComm has given us. Thank you, Mary, for having us. My name's Chris Neto. I'm the Market Development Manager at Starin. That's Mark Coxon. Mark, give us your information.
I'm the Western Regional Director at HD Distributing, and I'm at AV Phenom on
there you
Twitter.
Go. And I'm at Chris_Neto. Ladies and gentlemen, please have a great and safe show, and we'll be with you again soon. You never know. We may just pop up virtually again.
Take care.
Thank you so much, Mark and Chris. That was some good insight, and I'm interested to see those steps as well. I at the moment have 2,500, so I've got some work to do, and I got to catch up. But it's still the morning, so you at home and you here can all join in. Don't forget to use the hashtags to join in on the fun and let us know where you're at, and we'll get a little competition going and see who can beat Mark and Chris. I am so excited to be here with Ginger Leigh. She is joining us. She actually has a session later today too, but we'll get to that later. But she is fantastic. I'm such a huge fan of hers. Ginger, thank you for being here. Thank you so much for joining us on the morning show. please introduce yourself. Let us know a little bit about yourself and your experience so far here at InfoComm.
Yeah, so my name is Leigh. I actually go by Synthestruct, and this is my first InfoComm, so I'm very excited to be here and excited to be on the morning show today. So very excited to see what's happening on the show floor, and I have a talk leader today, so lots of exciting stuff going on.
Awesome. So Synthestruct. You do some pretty amazing things. If you haven't looked into this, definitely check it out. What does it take? And tell me a little bit about what you do and the manpower that it takes to do this. What is your team like? What is the environment like?
So in terms of a team, and I actually get this question a lot because a lot of the projects that I do integrate both sound and visuals, and there's also a lot of programming behind it, lighting design. There's a lot of different elements that go into it, a lot of research, science and technology, a lot of working with sensors. So I often get asked what my team is, and actually I am the sole creator behind Synthestruct, and so all of the audio design, visual design, lighting design, all of those aspects are created by me personally because my passion is in integrating science, technology, math, all these different elements together to create various projects.
Okay, just to give you an idea, we actually have a clip of a little bit of a sample of what she does, and we're going to take a look at this really quick, and we'll bring it up on the screen here, and hopefully you can give us a little bit of what's happening as we take a look at the video.
Absolutely.
Here it is.
So what you're seeing here, so I do a mix of live performances where I actually I create interactive systems that I control live. And so some of the clips that you'll see, I'm using sensor-enabled gloves. So essentially, I create these interactive systems, both audio and visual, and then during the performance, I control everything with these gloves that through my gestures, I can then manipulate the live performance and everything unfolds in real time. I also do a lot of audiovisual projects, as you're seeing here, a lot of lighting design. So one thing that you saw in the clip was a series of lit triangles that actually respond to your heartbeat. And then so a lot of the sensors that I work with, anything from EEG sensors, getting data from biological processes, and then turning that into experiences. So what I'm really interested in is exploring how technology can allow us to connect with these different experiences and enhance how we experience the world around us.
So in other words, she creates magic just with her hands. No, that is amazing and beautiful. Those creations are. I could watch that video 100 times, and I may have already watched it 100 times. So you actually, I don't want to steal too much away from later. You are speaking later today at an engagement around 2:30. Look her up on your app, on the InfoComm app. Find out where she's going to be, because this is just a brief chat, but she's going to be talking to you and probably sharing some really awesome. What can they look forward to for this chat, I guess?
So the talk today is on content creation with generative media and game engines, and so it's at 2:30. So talking about different workflows and looking at different example projects and generative media and working with real-time creation and different experiences. And also, I do have an installation at Art Tech House right now, which is a partnership that we did with the Society for Neuroscience. So if you are by chance in the DC area and want to check out one of the installations that is actually up right now, that particular one is on the neuroscience of vision, and you can actually walk through the whole process of how our brains translate light into signals that are sent to the brain.
So is there anything that you don't do?
I'm sure there is. Off the top of my head, I definitely enjoy experimenting and being adventurous, so I try to explore and try new things all the time. So
that's brilliant. Where can we find you? Where can we follow you? Where can we see your work?
If you look up Synthestruct, so synthestruct.com is my official website, and then on any social media, Synthestruct, synth as in synth, and then E, and then struct as in the beginning of structure.
Amazing. So last question before we go ahead and wrap up. What are you most excited to see today at InfoComm?
I would absolutely say the networking aspect. So for two reasons. One, since it is my first InfoComm, I'm excited about meeting new people and about walking around the show floor and experiencing it for the first time. And also because it's been a very long year and a half with COVID. So social interaction in general is very welcome right now. So it's definitely going to be a great experience talking to different people and networking and geeking out on a variety of audio and visual things. So
I believe that. I am excited to come see you at 2:30. Thank you so much for joining me, Ginger Synthestruct. This has been an amazing interview. Keep following us. Keep hashtagging InfoComm21. Check her out at 2:30 today, Thursday. And let's go ahead and take a look at some highlights from yesterday.
I realized this morning walking in here, actually, it's about people and connecting.
The last 18 months, the industry has suffered some pretty significant setbacks. This is a good starting point, right? This is a good, okay, this is square one to get back.
Yeah, the day here at InfoComm has been really unexpected. It's been great. We were all waiting yesterday to see what was going to happen. So today, you walk in and boy, it's been busy all day long.
This event is important because of that. It brings us all together and allows us to kind of, envision the future of the AV industry, but also start creating it.
So yesterday clearly was a pretty amazing day. I can't wait to see what today brings. Speaking of that steps challenge from earlier, yesterday I actually had 14,500 steps. So I did not beat you, Mark, but it's my goal to beat you today. I'll see what I can do in a pair of heels, but challenge accepted. But also, speaking of yesterday, I did have a chance to catch up with Sukhmani Mota at Samsung, and I would love for you to check out her interview. Here it is.
Hey there, I am here with Sukhmani Mota at Samsung. I'm so excited to be here interviewing you. This is such a pleasure. We'll start off with, why don't you just tell us a little bit about yourself and this experience here at InfoComm 2021 so far.
Yeah, thanks, Mary. I'm excited to be here. I'm Sukhmani Mota, and I head marketing for Samsung's display division. I am super excited to be at a trade show in person after 18 months, and the excitement here, the ability to meet your customers, it's just super great. What I think is important for us from a display perspective is that our technology needs to be seen. And so for our customers to be able to come here and our partners to actually see the different use cases and the impact of the technology, this technology can have on their business is critical, right, for them to see. So it's absolutely great to be here.
I believe it. This is game changing and the booth looks fantastic here. So how does this differ from previous InfoComms?
Well, it is absolutely different from the previous InfoComm for obvious reasons, right? Especially even as you walk through the exhibit floor. But I think this InfoComm offers flexibility like the ones before haven't. So for example, the attendees who want to be in person can be here, and there's plenty of opportunity to meet manufacturers, to meet other partners, have in-person meetings, which is great. But for those who want to be at home and engage virtually, they can engage with virtual InfoComm. And in fact, Samsung also has unveiled a virtual showcase. We have Samsung Display Week. So for our customers and partners, they can log into samsungdisplayweek.com and hear from us about our product updates, about a business update, and they can actually even tour the booth virtually of what we would actually have if this was a full-fledged booth. So that's an opportunity. And for those who want to be in person, but not in such a large scale, we're also doing micro events for them in our executive briefing centers all across the country. So I think this InfoComm brings a lot more flexibility for people to engage how they want to engage with their vendors, with their manufacturers and partners.
Wow, Samsung never ceases to amaze me. That's fantastic, all the things that you have going on right now. So that's exciting. What excites you most about InfoComm 2021?
Well, I'm excited to be one of the presenting sponsors. So Samsung is a presenting sponsor for InfoComm 21. We have some great speaking engagements. We had our customer coming in called Satva that was talking about retail experiences, and they're really they had an online play earlier. They started using Samsung technology, not just as screens, but our content management solutions and services. They've increased their conversion rates in their retail stores up to about 70%. So we had Sattva coming in and presenting what that's like. We have Mark Quiroz, our Vice President of Product Marketing, talking about experience expectations and delivering on those using display tech. So the speaking sessions have been really engaging and exciting.
That is so amazing. With Samsung, they're always so innovative and creative. They're always coming out with the cutting edge technology. So can you give us a little insight on maybe what we can expect to see next from Samsung?
Sure. We actually just announced this past Monday, we are bringing to the market electric charging stations, and we're partnering with the best in class and bringing in, of course, the ability to charge the electric vehicles, but also a display which enables people to showcase content and creative. So that's something that we're bringing to the market. We also finished the final step in integrating Prism View into the display division. And so we now really have the most expansive lineup of products and solutions for LEDs. With that, we're also bringing in LED bundles. So we have about 18 LED bundles that we're bringing to the market, making it easier for our partners to deploy these solutions for our customers. So some exciting things coming up.
So exciting.
Yeah.
My mind is blown right now. This is fantastic. Thank you so much for your time, Sukhmani. This was such a pleasure. I hope you enjoy the rest of InfoComm 2021. For those of you at home, please check out all the things Samsung has to offer for you to join us virtually here as well for InfoComm 2021. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mary.
What a great interview. Thank you, Sukhmani, again for being a part of that and sharing that interview and time with us. We have had quite an experience so far, and I have to say one of the highlights of the trade show floor is definitely that tech innovation stage. So you know it. I'm bringing you what's happening next on the tech innovation stage today, right now.
Oh, hey there. I was just checking out what's happening next on the tech innovation stage today on my InfoComm app. Let's take a look. I mean, we have so much content. Again, yesterday was amazing. Today is going to be great. I mean, look at the list of what is happening today. We've got a lot of content on here. This app is fantastic. I can clearly see we're starting off. It's actually a virtual coffee and controversy debate here. They're going to be talking about holograms and digital signage, and they're going to have a debate over that. We have another trend forecast, a new tech lightning round on digital signage. I will actually be a part of that, so you should definitely check it out. And then later in the day, after several more amazing sessions, we do have the AVIXA Membership Awards. That's at 4 p.m. So whether you're joining virtually or in person, 4 p.m. Eastern time, you definitely want to tune into that. Don't forget to tag #InfoComm21 to let everyone know where you are, what you're seeing, any selfies, any shots of the stage or exhibitors or anything you're excited about. We would love to see it. Share it with the world. You do not want to miss this. That's what's happening today on the Tech Innovation stage.
All right, that's all I've got for you today. Thank you so much for joining us. We will be back tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. Thank you also to our speakers. Thank you, Sean and Peter at AVIXA. Thank you so much, Chris and Mark, for joining us virtually. Thank you, Synthestruct. Thank you, Sukhmani. All of you have been great. Really appreciate you being here. Don't forget to #InfoComm21. I'm going to say it and say it again because we really want to see what you're doing. We want to see what your favorite parts are, what you like. It's only a way that we can make the show better and more fun for you. If you're joining us virtually, don't forget my show planner is going to give you access to a lot of the content that we have going on here. And if you're in person, count those steps. Let's see who's going to be winning. So stay safe, have fun, and I will see you tomorrow right back here.